Today I'd like to talk about manifestations again. Why don't they seem to work? What is it that we do wrong and why don't they work? The thing is that lots of people do the right thing in the beginning, which is when you start off with a manifestation, you have an image or you have a goal for the long run, how you want things to change, how you want things to turn out for you. So you focus on that with your thoughts, with your emotions, you just, give it lots of positive energy from your end. You visualize and you can almost feel it as if it was there. And that is all good. But the thing is, it doesn't stop there, and that's when lots of people stop. They become really passive because they think, hey, I've done everything I was supposed to do. I've been doing it for a long time and nothing's happened yet. So I guess this is just not happening for me. That's not the case. You have to take action. And that's something I think deserves more attention. When we talk about manifestations, of course, it all starts with what you have inside, what you envision, what you feel about that certain thing that you want in your life, or a certain outcome, a certain scenario. That's brilliant, and please keep at it. It's very important. That's how you basically create it on the higher planes. But the thing is that the soul, of course, decides in what way and when the manifestations take place in our lives. Because the soul has the perspective from above. It knows everything from a higher perspective because it has laid out a rough plan for our lives, and it knows when what should happen, which we will benefit from personally and also from a higher perspective. So in the end, it's always up to the soul when it will happen, and the soul knows best. And please trust your soul, because it always has to do with personal development. Sometimes we need to learn a few things along the way before things really can come our way. And sometimes we haven't overcome certain patterns, fears, or false beliefs about ourselves or our lives. So these can create obstacles as well when we're waiting for the manifestation really to come true, to manifest in our physical life. But another thing is that often people stay passive. They just wait for things to happen, to just pop up like that and knock on the door, basically. Of course, these sort of things do happen, but most times, that's I think very crucial for us to understand, is that we need to seize the opportunities that are coming our way. We need to take risks. We need to be really bold and go for things, really do it, be active. Deeds and being active, action is like the one thing that lots of people seem to forget, because I think it's all just happening inside. Yes, it does, and that's brilliant and very, very important before we can harvest the results, the positive results of our manifestations. However, what's really important for us is to take action. And just to give you an example, here's a story of a client of mine who was in a job that she wasn't happy with at all. She was really miserable after a few years. She didn't like it there, people there, everything was really, really not good, very negative for her, and had lots of negative side effects on her personal and emotional life. And the one message that her soul was giving during the readings constantly over a certain period of time was, leave this job, quit, go. And of course, for her, it wasn't very easy to make that decision, because she's living in an area where it's not very easy to find other jobs. So that was a big thing for her to consider and to actually do. And she hesitated a lot, and it took her a while, but in the end, she managed to overcome her fears and really do it. Because she had two choices. The soul said, either you stay in that job and be more miserable, and I tell you, I promise you, you will be. So it was kind of a threat. Or you trust me. And the thing here is that the soul in the readings at a certain point started showing me these images of her soul actually talking to other souls, kind of like having interviews, like job interviews, but the other way around. So the soul was basically interviewing future employers, and she was checking them. And then in one of the sessions, I saw a man, and I described to the man, and that the soul has basically made her decision to take the job there with that person. And I described the man to her, and that he was from abroad, and well, that was the image that was there for quite a while, that has developed over time. I was happy to tell her and to pass that on to her. So now it was up to her to really make that decision, that rough decision for her. So she managed, she quit the job, she left. She didn't know what was going to happen next, whether she would find a job or not, but she felt relieved. So she passed one of the tests that her soul was giving her in terms of faith and trust. She did that, and only a few days later she actually had the opportunity and got a call from someone who found out she was leaving her old company and offered her a job in his company. And guess what? It was actually the person that I described to her before on the soul plane. The soul was actually looked like this guy and was from abroad, and he offered her a job in his company. So this is what can happen if we take the chance, if we follow whatever the soul wants us to do. If we follow this higher guidance, and it paid off for her. So she started a new job now, and I'm telling you this just to give you an example of how wonderful things can turn out for us if we manage to overcome our fears. If we don't put too much negative energy into negative scenarios, worst case scenarios. What if this and that doesn't work out? What if? Why don't we expect something positive? Why don't we just try it out and say, okay, soul, you've been pushing me, you've been pestering me for so long. Okay, I'll give in. I'll see what you have. I'll do what I can from my end. I'd like to encourage you to be more positive, have more courage, be more bold, and seize every opportunity you have, and just be really attentive to what's happening around you and what chances might come into your lives. This is something you want to pay lots of attention to. So when you've started with your manifestation and you've been nourishing it with the right energy and the right content, the right visualizations, images, everything, mindset, thoughts, keep at it. Please stick to it, keep doing that, but the next step is action. So go for it and don't be afraid, seriously. You can't really go wrong when you follow your inner impulse, whatever impulse you feel is coming from your heart, which obviously is how the soul likes to communicate with us. Often it's just a feeling, like an urge for something, you don't know why, but it's there and you feel like you need to do it. It's coming from your soul. Always check back whether it's a positive impulse or a negative or something fearful. Obviously follow the positive ones and work on the fears. So you won't regret it. I can tell you it will always pay off for you. And it's just one of those tests that the soul wants to give us, which is good for our own development, and in order to also apply trust and see what is possible. Just overcome your own obstacles, the obstacles you've created in your heart and mind. Nothing's impossible, believe me. Alright, well, I'm wishing you wonderful, great opportunities that you're hopefully all seizing, and let me know if you have any interesting stories regarding your own manifestations. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye!